Drake dropped his album cover for all the dogs. The album cover was made by his son Adonis, and based off what Drake said, he said that old Drake is coming back. So how old are we going? Are we gonna go to Take Care? Nothing was the same. Are we going to go that far back? Or if we're reading this, it's too late. Who knows? But with Drake dropping his album cover, he was getting a whole lot of criticism from it. He was getting made fun of about his album covers, like, why did Adonis make it? Why does it look like this? And the crazy thing about Drake's previous album covers, really starting from If You're Reading This Is Too Late, is that those album covers are so simple to the point to where people, his fans, or just anyone, when they see the album, they're just like, what is this? They'll clown Drake. They'll be like, this album cover is trash. But come to find out, those album covers are now memes. If you're reading This Is Too Late, people were not liking that album. They was like, what is this album? Why does the album cover look like this? But come to find out, months down the line, people are using that album cover for memes. They're rewording the album cover to make it a meme and stuff like that. So it's kind of interesting what you do with the album covers. The album cover can be trash, and a person can look at the album cover and be like, look at this. They'll show their friend, look at this. Boom, that's a view right there. They share it to their friend. Then that friend could potentially share it to another friend, then another friend, then another friend. And all of a sudden, that trash album cover now has people coming together and looking at the album, and they go, well, listen to the album. Yes, this is Drake, so he's obviously going to get the streams. He's going to get the views on his album cover. But I'm just talking about just abroad, just in general, really. It brings attention to your album. And like I said, his previous albums, ever since If You're Reading This Is Too Late, he hasn't really put that much effort in the album's covers. Like Certified Lover Boy is just literally the pregnant emoji. You have Her Loss, where it's just this ugly girl with braces. It's not that much effort that he's putting in the albums. Views, it's not really that much effort that he's putting in the albums. The album cover, should I say. But it's bringing so many people together and looking at the album, and it's like they think that it's trash and they clown them, but you're getting views from that. I could post a video right now and I could say something as stupid as I want, and someone will comment and will be like, hey, this is something stupid, and then they'll share it to someone, they'll share it to someone, they'll share it to someone, and yeah, I might be saying something controversial or dumb, but by you sharing that, you're sending people to the video. I'm getting the view from it. So that's basically what Drake can do. And he's got to the point in his career to where Drake can really make whatever type of album cover that he wants. And even if it could be the trashiest album cover. His son Adonis made this album cover. But people will still come to listen to the album because it's Drake. Drake is just one of them guys. He's one of them guys. He can do whatever he wants. He can do that. Kanye can do that. Travis can do that. All of those people in the rap game can do that. They can make whatever type of album cover they want, and they'll still get the sales and still get the views. Will it sell more than 400K off of Her Loss with Drake and 21 Savage? Will it sell more than that album? I don't know. I think it will. I think it will sell at least that number. It'll sell 400K because Travis Scott sold 500K total, bundles and without bundles combined. So it will sell 400K. But will that album be better than Utopia? I don't think so. Because Utopia, for me, in my personal opinion, is album of the year. Is album of the year. No rap song, even with Utopia dropping no rap song this year. It's been a full year since a rap song has went number one. So the rap game has been kind of dry lately in regards to the music that has been dropping. But even with all of that coming, Drake, even though the album might not be better than Utopia, he can be the one this year that can have a number one song on the billboards. He can have that. He already has confirmed features on the album from Nicki Minaj and Bad Bunny. He might have Burna Boy on the album, and since he said that it might be his old sound, he might bring old features on there. You never know. It could be a Rick Ross on there. It could be a Lil Wayne. You just never know. I'm just going based off of old Drake, old albums. That's who he had on his albums with his old song. So you never know who he might have. Maybe he might turn back the table and bring those people back on the album. And Nicki Minaj and Drake haven't collabed since Seeing Green off of Nicki Minaj's album back in 2021. So with them coming together, that's already going to bring the hype from Drake and the Barbs. It's going to bring so much hype to that album already. So he might be the one that could potentially get a number one song. That song right there could potentially go number one if both of them do what they're supposed to do. Drake is always going to do what he's supposed to do, and Nicki Minaj always is going to do what they do. But every song might be different. You just never know. But if they come like how they normally come, that song could potentially be number one. It could be the number one song for the first time in over a year. That's saying something in the rap game. That is real deal saying something. Like all of these albums that have came out and no song has been number one. You've had songs that have been close, like this year with Travis Scott, with Fiend being number 5, and I think Meltdown was number 3, but no song could reach that number one spot. Couldn't reach that number one spot. But like I said, the only person that could get album of the year was either Drake or Travis Scott. I had said that in my previous podcast when I was talking about Lil Uzi's Pink Tape, and he didn't get a number one song. So it's like, if he didn't get a number one song, Travis Scott ain't get a number one song, and he sold 500K, Drake is the only one this year that could potentially get a number one song. Gunna's song, F You Mean, was at number, I think, 5. It couldn't reach that number one spot, but I feel like Drake can do it. He can sell over 400K. He can do that. But will that album have a number one song, or will it have any songs on there that'll be memorable, or will that album be better than Travis Scott's Utopia? Those are really the main questions, because Her Loss was a good album. It was a good album, but when you compare Drake's albums, that album is probably towards the bottom of the list. It's like middle to bottom of the list. Honestly, never mind. You could forget about that album. That album, in my opinion, is his worst album. Yes, he was trying something, but I still feel like it's his worst album. So with him basically trying to bring back his old sound, maybe they'll get that old Drake, that prime Drake with Nothing Was the Same, If You're Reading This It's Too Late, Views, Take Care, those 4 albums, Drake. Maybe it'll be a mixture sprinkled in. You never know what we can expect. But one thing we do know is it's going to be old Drake. He's going to have Nicki Minaj. He's going to have Bad Bunny. He might have Burna Boy. He might, in my personal opinion, he might have Lil Wayne. He might have Rick Ross. And he might have 21 Savage again. But that one's pushing it. But since it's old Drake, I wouldn't be shocked if there was a Rick Ross feature on there, or a Lil Wayne feature, or someone that he's had in his previous albums that he hasn't had in these past few albums that he has dropped. I wouldn't be surprised about that. So let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think that Drake is going to have a number one song, or he's not going to have a number one song? I think that he can do it with that Nicki Minaj song. I don't know about any other song that he has on the album, but that song, if it does what it does, that song could be the number one song. So that'll be very, very interesting.